Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly forecast for October 25th through the 31st. This is going to be for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I am setting the date, the intention for the dates I mentioned. However, you're going to stumble upon this video whenever it was time for you to hear the messages. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And we're going to see what's coming up for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. One more shuffle here. And then let's get right on into it, my darlings. Alright, so the first card coming up here is the Seven of Swords. This card has come up for a few of the signs. So, if you are one of the people that takes the time to watch your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, to get like a comprehensive feel of how your placements are being affected by the current energy, and you happen to see Seven of Swords in your moon or your rising, I want you to really take it seriously, okay? Sometimes this happens because Spirit is saying, like, this is important, pay attention, listen to this, this is going to be really important for you, because sometimes we might hear something and we might brush it off because it doesn't make us think of anybody right away. And so it's like, maybe this hasn't happened yet and you need to look out for it. Seven of Swords can come up when somebody is being a little bit shady or a little bit sneaky with us. But the feeling and the vibe I'm getting from the Seven of Swords for you, Sagittarius, and I can't remember what other sign this came up for, but you'll have to let me know if you've heard it and it's repeating. The feeling and the vibe I'm getting is that you, Sagittarius, need to be a little bit more Seven Swordsy, okay? And what I mean by that, not dishonest, not tricky, but quiet about the moves that you're making, right? Maybe some of you are feeling, well, let me confront this person and let me tell them how I'm feeling. Let me give them one last chance. And it doesn't have to be a romantic situation. It could be a work situation, a family situation. And Seven of Swords is saying you need to take your steps quietly. You need to do what you're doing quietly. If you are trying to launch some type of business or product, or you're working on a book or some artwork or some music, and you're thinking, let me pass it around, let me get some opinions from people. I don't care how much you trust these people. Be careful and be cautious what you're showing, because Seven of Swords can indicate that you're dealing with someone who's going to be like, whoa, that's actually really good. And they get tempted, right? When there's an opportunity for money, success, attention, people get sneaky, people get greedy. And they'll steal it and they'll try to pretend that it's their own. And so be aware of this and be cautious what you're sharing. You know, just know that there are people that might try to take your ideas and try to beat you to it in terms of putting it out there. So maybe don't look so much for that validation or that confirmation. Don't feel like you need to show your work to people to get their opinion. Go based on your instincts. Go based on your heart. And if it feels done, it's done. If it feels ready, it's ready. You don't need to have your entourage come in and say, oh yeah, that's good, you should pitch that. You should put that out there. Okay, unless you're working with someone you can really trust, like somebody who is like managing your work and you have a contract or an agreement with this person, or you know, somebody who is you know, producing your work or publishing it, then okay, fine, you're going to show them what you're doing. But those of you who are working on creative projects or collaborations, be cautious. In a work setting, you may have people that feel very threatened by you, and the Seven of Swords can indicate that they're trying to kind of set you up here. And so Seven of Swords for me says, cover your booty, cover your sweet little behind, my darlings. Make sure that you have things in writing. Someone might come up to you and say, oh, Sagittarius, I need you to take care of this and this and that. And you might be like, that seems kind of off to me, or I thought that we're not supposed to do it this way. I thought we were supposed to do it that way. And they're like, oh, no, I need you to do it this way. This is the way that it's done, right? Send an email to that person a few minutes later. Hey, so-and-so, thanks for coming by. I'm just writing this email to confirm that you gave me X, Y, and Z, and you asked me to do 1, 2, and 3. So per your request, per your instructions, I'm going to do it like this and this and this, like however they told you to do it. And then send that email. Even if they don't answer you, don't worry about it. Just send the email. And then later on, if it comes back to you, your supervisor or boss comes in all upset. Sagittarius, what is this? Why did you do this like this? We don't do this like this. And you're like, well, so-and-so told me to do it like that. And they're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I never said that. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Well, let's look at the email. I sent you the email because something about it seemed off. You could have responded to the email. You could have corrected me then. I sent you the email to confirm. You didn't respond. You could have said to me, no, Sagittarius, you misunderstood me. You didn't tell me that I misunderstood you. I told you what I understood, and you didn't correct it, right? That way you're covering your sweet little booty. You're covering your sweet little behind. So, having things in writing, keeping a record, double checking your work, as unfortunate as it is, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here. I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly. I don't like to I'm not like a fear monger, but let's face it, sometimes we have to be cautious. There's, shady people out there. And in a work situation, 7 of Swords for me says cover your butt. You might have some sneaky people around that you're dealing with. And in terms of what you're doing, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Some of you are having some good news, progress happening in like a project or a goal or in your career, and you're really excited and you're wanting to tell people about it. But especially if you're new on your journey, you might be surrounded by a lot of lousy people. And you have this happy little, your candle is lit, you have this happy little positive flame of hope and inspiration. And you're like, look how beautiful, look how wonderful. And you're sharing the good news, and they're just coming in and blowing out your candle. They're just raining all over it, a big fat rain cloud, right? Oh, that's nothing. Oh, okay, well, that's great. I guess you just need 997 more of those so that you can pay your bills. They might say something really negative or really mean, and then you get discouraged. And you feel like, well, maybe I'm celebrating too early. Maybe I'm being too optimistic about this. So be careful and be cautious what you're sharing with people. Make your moves quietly. Your next card that's coming up, your Sagittarius, is the Hermit. So, traditionally speaking, if we're looking at astrology, if we're looking at the zodiac, the Hermit card is going to be associated with Virgo. So some of you could have Virgo coming into a situation. If you have a Virgo placement, there can be big changes happening for you in that area of your life. It is a major arcana card. So the major arcana cards are going to come up anytime that we're coming into a significant new chapter, a significant new shift. When the major arcana cards come up, this is energy that's going to be around us for a while. Okay, we're not just talking about 7 days. I've set the intention for the 25th through the 31st. But this is energy that's going to be around a while. There might be doors opening. There might be things that are starting up the 25th through the 31st. But the Hermit will be around a while. Okay. This can be, some of you are feeling the need to embrace your calling. You may be feeling called to do spiritual work, or to seek out a spiritual teacher or spiritual guru, or to take what you've learned on your journey and help and guide others. Some of you maybe are being led to get involved in more spiritual practices. Hermit card can also come up in my readings when there's a spiritual lesson. Like you might be really frustrated with a situation and you're like, I just want to get out of here. And you're like, what do I have to learn? What do I have to accomplish? Kind of like Quantum Leap. If any of you used to watch Quantum Leap back in the day, Sam's like, Waziggy, why am I here? What do I have to do to leap out of here, right? You're like, what do I have to do to get out of here? And so with the Hermit card, it's like, there's a lesson here. And once this is learned, you can move on to the next thing. You can leap on to the next thing. And for me, oftentimes, you see how he's holding up the lamp? It's almost like the situation is holding up a light to you, holding up a mirror to you, and showing you exactly where you're blocked, or where you're feeling insecure, or where you're feeling hurt. So there could be a situation where you feel like, your coworkers are ganging up on you, or you have a situation with a person that's kind of triggering you or making you sad. This is not happening to punish you or drive you crazy. Spirit is trying to show you where the wound is. So you have to ask yourself, what does this remind me of? Who in my life before this has made me feel this way? What are some of my limited beliefs about myself? And so this way we can see where we're hurt and we can start to heal it. Right? It's like there's this infection, and it's kind of, I don't mean to be gross, it's maybe kind of formed into like a little pus bubble or something, and now it's being squeezed so that it can be pushed out. So all the infection can be pushed out of your system, cleared out of your system. I know it sounds gross and icky, but sometimes we're in a situation where that's what's happening. We're having the situation so the light can be shined on where the ouchie is, on where the boo-boo is, so that we can take care of it. We can clean it. We can patch it up. We can heal it. There's a transformation angle to this card too. I know a lot of people think of the Death card as transformation, and it is. But the Hermit card makes me feel like you've done a lot of your healing. Okay, and you're pushing out what needs to be pushed out, and then now you're coming into the phase of the little caterpillar, right? The little caterpillar who went through and ate everything it needed to eat and got its fill, and now it's tired and it's gonna rest. It's gonna go in its little cocoon, and all it's gonna do is rest, and these beautiful magical wings are gonna come and like sprout out, and it's gonna become a butterfly simply by resting. So a lot of you are entering that stage of your healing, right? You've done a lot of the karmic cycles. There might be one last situation here you're trying to get out of. You're going to be out of it soon. And then you're going to have a time to be able to kind of just process what you've been through and be in your little cocoon, be in your little safe place, and just rest. And as you're resting, your wings are growing. Right? And then the butterfly is going to reach places and see things that the caterpillar could never even have imagined, right? Because the butterfly has access to places the caterpillar would never be able to reach. And so that's where you're getting to in your life journey, in your spiritual work, in your growth, in your development. So you're coming into this time of, now you can just kind of lay back and just kind of process and just kind of rest and let those colors come to the surface. Let those wings sprout simply by resting. You don't have to do a whole lot of heavy work. The heavy work has been done. And now is the time to just kind of recuperate and let nature do its thing, let spirit do its thing. And then it's like the butterfly comes out of the cocoon, and then it's like out and experiencing the world and finding the other butterflies. And so to me, it's like it's this time of going inward, having this little transformation, and then going out and finding your soul family, finding the other awakened people, okay? Finding the tribe. That's the feeling and the vibe I get with the Hermit card a lot of the time. Now, the next card that's coming up for you, Sagittarius, is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles can be collaborations. It can be working with other people on projects. And it can be laying down a whole new foundation. Okay, you might be coming into a time where you're kind of building a new life for yourself. And Three of Pentacles is very promising because it's telling us that you're starting on a good foundation. You're building a good, solid foundation, and you're going to be able to build sturdy, steady, reliable, dependable life on that foundation that's going to withstand the test of time. So it's telling you that this is going to take some time because you're building something very big, right? Like the pyramids. Think about the pyramids. How long have the pyramids been around? Longer than any of us or anybody that we know has been alive. There are houses that were built in the 50s that are crumbling and falling apart, and the pyramids are still standing. You know? So those weren't built in a day. It took time, but they're sturdy. They're solid. They're not going to be knocked down. So this is good news if you're tired of having to start over all the time. You're not going to have to start over. This is something solid. This is something dependable. In terms of collaborations, you might have other people that you're coming together with and networking with and creating new ideas for extra income or support systems. I feel, Sagittarius, like some of you are really wanting to do something in the community, and I feel like you're getting together like support groups, like to check in on each other, to make sure that you guys are safe, to make sure that if anybody is in need, the group can come together and help each other. It's very specific, very specific. So this is going to be true for somebody out there. But I feel like some of you are like, there's a lot of changes coming. Things are very unpredictable. And so you're creating support systems, and you're finding like a group that we're going to get through this together, right? We're going to help each other. I feel that sense in the Three of Pentacles as well. In a work situation, Three of Pentacles could be like, you notice they're paying a lot of attention to you, but nobody's telling you why. They might be like, oh, Sagittarius, when you come in tomorrow morning, grab a notepad and go sit down with so-and-so, because you're going to be learning from them. You're going to learn how they're doing the job. Take notes. And you might be like, what's going on? Are they not happy with me? Am I not doing a good job? Are they trying to get me to do something else before they fire me? Are they, like moving me? And like, you might not know, and they're just bouncing you around. They see potential in you, and they're trying to get a better idea of your strengths. They're trying to get a better idea of what you kind of gravitate towards or what you take to, and where you're going to be the happiest. So it's a situation where there's plans to move you up. And so you're being mentored, you're being trained. If you're in a new job and you're really nervous about this new job, Three of Pentacles says they see you and they see your potential. They may have hired you on potential because they saw you as, okay, we can train this person. We can train Sagittarius. Sagittarius can learn. Sagittarius can, like come up. So they have the attitude of teaching you. They have the attitude of training you. It's not a sink or swim environment. It might be fast paced, but they are there to support you and to help you. So it's like, don't be scared to ask questions. They want you to learn. They know that this is new, but they're confident that you have what it takes to learn it and to do it well. The next card that's coming up here for Sagittarius is the Nine of Wands. Okay? Nine of Wands is going to come up with a few different layers. Nine of Wands can tell us that something is almost done. Like we're very close to the finish line. We've covered a lot of ground and it's almost done. We're very close to the goal, very close to the prize, very close to the finish line. Another aspect of the Nine of Wands is when we feel really nervous. We're like, I don't want to trust the wrong people. I don't want to accept the wrong opportunities. How do I know that I'm making the right choices? How do I know that I'm letting the right things into my life? Well, Nine of Wands, every single one of these wands behind him used to belong to somebody who came up to him and challenged him to a fight. Every single one of those wands is someone who came and started trouble with him for no reason. And he fought them and he won, and he took their little stick away and he put it in the ground behind him as like a symbol of his victory. Now we know he got hurt. He's got that bandage around his head. He's not without injury, but he's still standing and he's still alert. And every single one of those fights gave him some new moves, gave him some new skills, gave him some experience. So Spirit wants you to know when the Nine of Wands comes up that there is nothing new under the sun anybody can come at you with. Every lie, every mind game, every manipulation, every con, you've seen it. You've been there. You've been through it. There's nothing new anybody can come at you with. As long as you're allowing your experience to remind you, and to learn from your experience and pay attention to red flags, you're never going to fall for those cons. You're never going to let the wrong people in. You're going to be able to spot the problem instantly, and you're going to be able to nip it in the bud and not deal with it, right? And be protected and be safe. And pay attention to your intuition, because a lot of the times the way that the experience comes up, you might meet somebody and you're talking to this person and you're like, oh my gosh, you know what? They totally remind me of my one cousin that was always talking about me behind my back, and they were always trying to turn the family against me. They remind me so much of that cousin. Or, oh my gosh, this person reminds me so much of my ex. Oh my gosh, that one ex who was just out there sleeping with everybody. Like they could not keep it together. They were just out there like a dog in the street, you know. Or, oh my gosh, I went to this one interview and I walked through and it totally reminded me of that one job I had where they were always trying to get me to do shady stuff. Pay attention to that, because that's your intuition. That's the part of you that picks up on energy. That's like, hey, you know what? I've felt this energy before. That's your higher self saying, look, Sagittarius, we've been through this. We already took this class. We already had this lesson. We don't need to do it again. It's not you being judgmental. It's you recognizing energy. It's you recognizing red flags. So if there's situations coming up and it's reminding you of people or situations from the past, that is telling you don't get involved. Go the other way. Go the other direction. Okay? You may want to check out your moon sign and your rising sign videos. Some weeks those might resonate for you more than others. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you want to go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. There's gonna be love readings for November coming up soon. October love readings are in the description. November will be up soon. In the meantime, guys, I thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'm wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you all in next week's readings. Take care.